there is two points of view on human beings. There's one whole point of view that says we're innately bad and sinful and unworthy. And so when we take that perspective, when that gets kind of internalized in us, we tend to judge, criticize, compare, one kid to another, or compare yourself to somebody else, and we have a very punitive, punishing kind of mentality. That is a very, very strong ideology throughout the world. That we're bad, unworthy, sinful, we judge ourselves, we judge others, we're critical of ourselves, we're critical of others, we compare ourselves to others, we're punitive. So that's one point of view. Now another point of view is that we're basically good. And that's what Anne Frank said. Remember that famous statement from Anne Frank? There she was, hiding in an attic somewhere in the Netherlands, because she was going to be hauled off. She and her family were going to be hauled off, and actually were hauled off to the concentration camps where they would die. And she said, people are basically good. That's like, my God, you know where you're going to be next year. But she believed that. But that belief that human beings are basically good, it means that we accept ourselves and others as we are. We accept our good points, we accept our flaws, the things we don't do so well. We just accept, and it's all okay. Some people who are in this spectrum will say things like, I like that person because she or he has those flaws. I find the flaws kind of endearing or funny, or and sometimes you don't like it, but sometimes just because you're not perfect doesn't mean you're not lovable. And nobody's perfect. So that's maybe the basic idea, is that we're all worthy of love, we're all basically good, and we're all imperfect. But we recognize that we're not perfect, we're not 100% good all the time, we do things that hurt other people, and so we figure out, in that point of view, how to regulate our own behaviors so that A, we don't hurt people, or B, if we do hurt people, what do we do to make up for hurting people? And we also have to regulate the behaviors of others. Those of you who raise children, you know that you have to teach your kids how to behave sometimes because they don't really get it. And those of us who are working in the various areas in child welfare know that we have to put limits on people sometimes because what they do to others is harmful. You can be the mother or father of that kid and you can discipline them, fine, but you can't abuse them. And that's an example. But that doesn't mean you're a bad person, it just means you have to stop doing that and do something else. So in the basically good idea, it's not an airy, we're all wonderful wonderland. It's very realistic. We can see the really good things that are happening, and we can see where we're not quite there yet, and we help each other. We help each other get there. And basic to that belief too is that when we do something that we know is hurting ourselves or hurting other people, we're uncomfortable. And our first choice is to make up for it so that we can be comfortable again. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't teach children, because a lot of people don't know how to do it, is how do we make up for it when we do something that might be hurtful to ourselves or other people. So this overview, this general huge overview, the ideology of are we good, are we bad, and is very powerful, and that throughout human history. And those ideas are deeply embedded in how we understand compassion and self-compassion and self-criticism or self-rejection.